everyone, welcome back to RTS and welcome back to another start to finish layout. Yes, love doing start to finish videos. Yes, of course I just love scrapbooking, don't we all? Yes. So of course we're still playing with the load event, and when I say play, I do mean play. We are having a blast with this load event, and of course you know we have the whole Wizard of Oz theme, ruby red scissors, that type of thing. So of course that topic of discussion was lions and tigers and bears, oh my. Yes, and of course Alice gave us the story prompt about how Dorothy and the gang were afraid in the forest. So what do you worry about, and what are your fears? How do you deal with your fears, that type of thing. And she said you could also scrap about an animal story. Okay, and then the technique prompt was to use the famous line, lions, tigers, and bears, oh my, in your title. You know, let that be an inspiration if you want to. And there was a lot of critters in the gallery today with the layouts. Very, very fun. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm absolutely going to use that famous line as a play on my title, and then also I'm going to be journaling a little bit about some fears, things I worry about, because traveling is a huge thing in my life, and yes, I have worries and fears, and oh my, yes, I got a lot going on with that. So what I'm going to do is I'm absolutely going to have paper pad party time, and we are going to play with Travel Girl. Now this was by October Afternoon. And I would tell you, every time I see Travel Girl, I'm telling you, I think of Chamel. I don't know what it is, but that's who I think about. But this really was by October Afternoon. And so this has to be a fast page because I'm getting like a week behind on everybody else. So I got to play catch up a little bit. I got to step it up here. So I'm going to just pull a couple papers from this. I'm going to let it be a block design. It's going to be a simple design. And then, well, if you want to just hang on, I have a feeling, I have an idea of what I want, because if you look at my photos, I have the same photo printed twice because of the title, lions, tigers, and bears are mine. So I'm going to play off of that. So that's why I printed 3, and because that just tells my story. So of course when I saw this is definitely making the cut because it has to do with travel. And there was another one right here. It's a travel log. So I am definitely going to be keeping those in this 8x8 size, because in this paper pad party and this Travel Girl paper pad, that's exactly what it is. I think I only have 2 or 3 8x8 paper pads. That's it. That's all I have. I never really got into buying this because I figured if I was going to spend the money for that, I would just splurge and buy the collection. So that's how I did that. But makes for a very fast page when you're doing with the block design. And then what I'm going to do then is I need a pop of something. And so how did I know what color to go with? And so I saw this red in here and I made it quick. And I said, okay, that's the 3 colors I'm going to do with the gray, black. And then this, it's not really a turquoise, but it's not really a green. Maybe a seafoam green. And this red. So I went to my little tray here that I have. And I've been focusing on, I talked about this in one of my 15-minute mixers, is that I want to focus on journaling cards in 2019. So I just pulled a bunch that really has no rhyme or reason and just stuck them in here and been playing with them. And so what I did was I went through that little container there and I pulled anything that was red or black. And I thought what I would do once I trim these down is that I would use these for matting my photos. Now, how is that for using journaling cards? Use them as photo mats on your wallets, or even your bigger size photos, just cut them down. And that definitely could be another one of those blocks. So that is a plan. And of course I could cut something, use that as an embellishment. No, I do not love this. I do not love traveling and traffic and yeah, all that. So then of course I need a title, and I went with this right here. And I found this, and would you believe that is old school? That is Chicken Nitty. Do you remember that company? It didn't stay in business very long, but what they had was great stuff. Okay, so once I had my alpha picked out, I said, okay, well, I'm going to need some embellishments, so what did I do? I went and I pulled my gray/silver little color bin as well as my red. There is plenty of options to play with. This is more of the die cuts, and this is more the lump and bump, so I just picked one of each in the color. And then I went to my green photo box, and I was on search for the seafoam green, jadeite green, that type, and that is what I pulled. And I have die cuts, and look at all this little flare and buttons and Clips, oh my, yeah, a little bit of everything there in those bags. And also, since I'm dealing with maps and traffic and things like that, I went and I pulled arrows and the wood veneer, and then I also the cars, and what else we have? Oh, geotags, yes. And then, of course, you know, we have the arrows. So I'm definitely going to be playing with wood veneer, too, just to give me a little bit of something extra to play with. And so that is how simple and fast it took. Oh, we'll leave that there as a representation. That is how fast something like this it comes together when you just pull a set of supplies and you're running with it. Yes, because I want to record the story. I don't have to worry about getting the perfect supply to record the story. Just as long as I have something fun, something colorful. And of course, Alice already gave the story prompt to run with it, so that's what we're going to do. So that is how I'm going to start this page. And so come back and I will have the finished page. Okay, I'm back with my finished page, and I timed myself, and I think it took like 41 minutes from start to finish. It didn't take very long, because if you look at my background design, it's basically an 8x8 piece of block paper here, and this 8x8 block of paper here. Now, I simply could have cut some of that 8x8 paper, but I don't. When I'm playing with the block design, I don't worry about saving paper. I just put it on there. And then also, too, I add this additional red and white polka dotted paper here. Actually, that was a journaling card, and I cut in half because I can use this for something else. And that is all my design is 3 blocks of paper, and they're just layered on top of each other. And so a lot of my subscribers and I have been talking in our go-to designs. When it comes to the block design, it is simply just playing with blocks of paper. You don't have to worry about measurements. Just use them the size they're in and have fun. Very, very simple pages, very, very fast pages when you're playing with go-to designs. And I'll have that playlist linked below because we have been really, really focused on go-to designs this year. Okay, so then what I did was I took my photos, that was the exact same photos. I matted each one of them using a journaling card. Yes, how fun was that? Using some of those journaling cards. So don't forget to pull those journaling cards to give additional pieces of block paper and also as blocks for, you know, mats for your photos. And then, of course, because Alice gave us the prompt to use the title lions and tigers and bears oh my as, you know, as inspiration for your title. And so that's what I did. I put miles and miles and miles oh my. Yes, that's what I did, because this layout here is going to be I'm going to be journaling right here, and it's going to talk about all the many, many, many miles we log in each and every month because of traveling, where we live, where we work, where we play, where we go to school, all that stuff. It's just, that's all we do is put in my miles. Yeah. And then I did add some wood veneer and a visual triangle to go with my theme of traveling and arrows, and actually found the word travel. How fun was that? And geotags. And then I found some crepe paper die cuts. That was from the Open Road collection. And of course I used the number 3. There's 3 in my family. And then also to the one that has the park reverse neutral drive. Very, very fun to go with this. And again, this layout did not take very long because I have minimal amount of paper. I have minimal amount of supplies, and I have a very simple design. Quick, okay? And then, of course, this is a gray piece of basil cardstock, which I put it on top of some black because I think it just finished the page a little bit better. And I'm going to be talking about this line here, these pencil lines, in just a minute. But I did want to go over my journaling because my journaling will go here. And my plan is to use another one of these journaling cards cut down with another piece of this crepe paper Open Road die cut. I'm going to layer them just like this. And my journaling is going to go right over top of that. But I'm not going to adhere it down because sometimes when I do my journaling, I get a little wordy. You know, I'm a chatty person, so I may have a little bit more, and I may have to shift this up or shift it down. So that's why I didn't adhere it yet. And then also, too, I will have a little bit of finishing touches. And now, since I have to do my journaling a little bit longer or a little bit after because of filming, what I will do and what I've had to start doing is that I need to put these elements in a bag, and then I will keep this together until I have, when I can journal. And so I also put the date on the back so I don't have to worry about losing a piece of paper or anything like that. So I always say if you're like at a crop or you're traveling or something and you have to do your journaling later, keep some of these extra little tidbits in a bag, because when you go to do your journaling, you may want an extra enamel dot or you may want an extra wood veneer. So it's easier to have a little few extras in a baggie. other than when you go down and sit down and do your journaling, then you have to go pull something. So it just saves us a few steps. I've learned that over the last couple years. And then I wanted to show, you see on this background of this gray cardstock, I have some marker lines. And so, of course, you know, we were taught way back in the day that was basically for faux stitching, things like that. But a lot of people will do this as an outline, and it just finishes your page a little bit. If you feel like things are just getting lost and floaty, you can absolutely just take a marker. And I'm going to show a quick tip on how to do this marker, especially if you're left-handed. Okay, so I'm going to do that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is show a quick tip, because if you're someone who wants to do, and I have 3 different pens here, and a fine line works for this, but I mean, you definitely could use, well, here's a medium, here's a bold, okay. Oh, well, here's a bold. Let me find it. Okay, so of course, you know, to do a line, depending on the thickness of your pen, you're going to get a different look of your lines, okay. So it's up to you. It's up to you. That's running, getting low. So it's up to you what thickness of a line you want for your layout. These zig pens work so well for journaling. And also, this is a 5. This is a 0.5. I like this. So I wanted to show that it depends on the marker you pick and the tip of your marker. That it's up to you how you, let me start over. It's up to you how big or how small you want the thickness of this line to be on your layout. There's no rule on that, okay? So I'm going to show you what I've learned over the years, because if I just sit here and I just try to draw a straight line, I can't do that, okay? Because it'll get too wonky, and when I first did this, I didn't like it, and I stopped doing it until I learned this tip that if you take your pen and you drag your arm to do your outlining. So I'll show you. So watch my pen and watch my arm. My pen is going to stay where it is, but I'm going to move my arm. Look how quick and easy it is. Instead of moving my pen, I move my arm. Okay, now I don't know if that's a lefty thing or it's just more of a control thing. I think you have more control as to where this outline is going to go. Again, I'm moving my arm, not my pen. It just works so easy. And then it works really well for when you want to do a double line. And okay, I'm hoping I'm in frame, because you can basically stay very close to what you just already did. Sometimes you're going over the exact same line. It's funny how that works, because you're moving your arm, not your pen. Quick, quick. Yes, it makes me happy. When I learned that trick, and I'm not going to take credit for it, I may have learned it from someone. It may just be a left-handed thing. But moving my arm, not my pen, makes for a very quick and easy, more controlled outline on, if you want to do that on your outer mats. Very, very fun. Now, I know some people will also do that with your pattern paper and all that. I'm not a doodler, so if this type of outlining, I do it in a small amount because I don't like a lot of it, because I love my pattern paper. So, but definitely if you want some definition on your papers, outlining even your individual papers, you can even outline your individual mats. You can outline anything. Absolutely. Okay, so I wanted to share that tip. And then also, I think that was all I wanted to say, other than if you have to do journaling later, there's nothing wrong with making yourself some notes, a post-it note, even including a little finishing touches. So when you do have the time to journal, it's going to be a quick process. That's what I've been doing, because finishing journaling on my layouts and filing them away is my goal for 2019. I will get it done. So that is all I have for today. There was a very quick page. I love this load prompt because this is something I talk about every single day in my life. It's about where we live and how many miles we have to rack up on our vehicles to get where we need to go. And so this will definitely be, all of that journaling will be talking, I will be talking about that, because in the prompt Alice gave us was to what do you worry about, what is your fears, and being on the road trailing and the traffic is a big fear of mine. I have some issues with that. Yes, that's not a fun thing, but it's something I have to deal with. But anyways, you would think with my lifestyle I would not want to travel, but it's like something we have to do. So anyways, that is my page. That is how I started it. This is how I finished it. And come back, because I'll have another start to finish layout coming soon. And come back to RTS, because you never know what we're going to learn. Bye.